Day 81 of Road to 100k in 100 days. Today was a good day. Day 81. Boom. New deal. And it is indeed June the 26th. Looking good, boys. We got a new deal. Get in. Get in. So how this happened was how it always happens, really. It was a really good phone call. It was my first client that I've landed on this 100-day challenge from Australia, which is a blessing. Really good call. Like I always do, I pre-frame the call with about halfway in when I actually know we can help, and I've made sure asked all my follow-up questions regarding to what's your current marketing strategy, what have you done previously to get work, how many jobs you're getting per month, and when I find out about their team, how big is their team, all right, what's the goal here, what's the main concern, what's your main pain point here, what's actually holding you back from getting to where you want to get to, and where is it that you want to get to. Once I make sure that we can actually help, which is essentially if they have enough budget to advertise and they have enough room to take on jobs, there's no reason why we can't help. I always preface it with, all right, well, look, before I get into kind of what we do, one of three ways we can go from here. Number one is you say, yep, I'm keen to work with you, let's do it, which is cool. We can work together and we can go from now. Number two is just a no. Thank you for your time, appreciate the information, but it's not good for me, don't want it, no thank you, which is fine. I can handle rejection, believe me, I've been on plenty of calls like this, been rejected plenty of times, it's all good, I'm not going to have a go at you, it's just business. But third, I just want to avoid this today, is just a maybe. Maybe, let me think about it, let me go talk to my wife about it. I mean, maybe, I don't want to, it's just a polite way of saying no. So instead of kicking the can 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks down the road, if you want to say no, just say it here. Is that cool with you? And they always say, yeah, that's cool with me, that sounds fair. And then when I get to the close, which is a really, I'd say it's a pretty laid back close, a very consultative close. It's not a, should we do it right now? It's so here's the product, here's the service, here's what the partnership will look like, here's the price, here's what it'll get you in return, just seeing where your head's at. They'll say, okay, yeah, and usually it's a bit of, it's a little bit of an objection. I'll just say, yeah, no stress, look, our job's pretty easy. This is why we do it, this is how we do it. And by the way, again, these are some results from our other clients. If you don't want to work with us, totally fine. But if you do want to work with us, we'd love to help right now. Should we jump in? That's pretty much the last line. Should we jump in? Should we do it? Should we do it? Should we get started right now? And usually that's the yes or no. And today, that was a yes. So we got a new deal. Half paid up front, which is a blessing. So actually that little chart I just showed you a little bit of a cheeky lie, because technically that wasn't all paid up front. Only half was paid up front in 2 weeks from today. The other half will be paid. Absolute blessing. Absolute blessing. So that was early this morning. That was at 10 a.m. Right after the call, I sent over a contract, of course. I sent over a invoice, not a link, an invoice, so that could be paid directly to my bank account, because Stripe and PayPal are super annoying sometimes. Straight to the bank account looks, I personally think that the Stripe looks more professional, but straight to the bank account is so much simpler, to be honest with you. And apparently people around that age trust that more than they trust a payment link, so whatever. So I sent that to the bank account, which is cool. So I got half of that paid up front, and then I just spent, half of that paid up front. We booked an onboarding call. I say book an onboarding call. It's quite easy. I get ad access usually on that call. I say, hey, should we book an onboarding call? And they say, should we just do it now? I say, I'm glad you say that, because yes, we can. I get them to share their screen with me. I get access to their ads manager, their Meta Business Suite, their ad account, and we go from there. Super, super simple. So yeah, everything's sorted. Payment made, half up front, half in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today. Contract signed and sent over, signed, and sent back, which is cool, or agreement rather, and yeah, access to his accounts. So I spent a few hours today setting that up after the call, of course, after I had some food, and essentially that took me the rest of the day. Obviously, I referred to my SOP, but I will say this: I think that I know this challenge isn't over yet, but one of the things I'm A, going to change moving forward, and B, hypothetically, if I could start again, do differently, is implement SOP, have these SOPs so on point and so comprehensive and so easy to understand and read and implement that I will just outsource it immediately. Because I love taking sales calls, and I also love fulfilling the service, because I know it's a skill that personally I'm never gonna lose that skill. However, when you want to build a company, it's never the CEO doing the most work. You outsource a lot of fulfillment, a lot of sales, a lot of client coordination, and even managing teams and stuff. But I would just outsource the fulfillment quicker. Even till right now, it's not something I've done. This was the sixth client that I landed for this 100-day challenge. So I'm not actually at a point with these 6 clients where I need to be outsourcing. But don't get me wrong, it takes a lot of time. If instead of today, I got 3 hours back doing this fulfillment, getting everything set up, post the sales call, getting everything set up, doing market research on competitors of his in the local area, their services, what they do, what they don't do, potential gaps, asking AI and ChatGPT for things that could essentially fill in the gaps from different marketing and advertising angles, of course, that is. And then just referring to my SOPs and essentially doing the checklist of is this done, is this done, is this done. It takes a long time. If you can just outsource that, I get back 3 hours, and I'm getting to the point where my time is becoming actually quite valuable. Because instead of those 3 hours spent doing that, if I spend 3 hours doing 2 other sales calls, I make a lot of money that day. And then I can have more money to pay for better fulfillment. This is kind of how it works. But as an entrepreneur, it all starts with you. You're the one that has to make the systems. You're the one that has to make sure the SOPs are on point. You're the one that has to make sure your staff are good people, first of all, and they're competent and smart and can actually provide the service you want them to provide. And you have to make sure that they do it on time. Make sure they do it enough to the point where your client is happy. Because if they're not happy because it's a poo service, then they're never, ever, ever going to come back to you. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent now, but this was technically the first deal I landed from those ads that I was running almost 2 weeks ago now. So if we're just talking about those ads and return on ad spend, we're already in the profit. Spent $700 on ads. Today I collected $2,000, and then in 2 weeks I'm collecting another $2,000. And that's also, you got to remember, the last 2 days I had a cancelled meeting both of those days. So I know this isn't what happened, but in the last 3 days I could have collected $12,000 in cash from $700 ad spend. That's the beauty of social media ads. Excuse me. That's the beauty of advertising. The only reason I'm not advertising more right now is not because I don't have the budget. It's because I don't have the time every day to do everything, essentially. Like I said, fulfillment takes a while. And I haven't even reached out to a lot of these leads because all my days have been spent preparing for sales calls. Apart from, I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, but I just did, had a pretty shocking day. I think it was one I videoed from bed. And I was saying today wasn't good, bit of a write-off that day. Not my proudest moment. But yeah, guys, this has been an absolute blessing. And again, it's only day 81. Shout out to Kobe. We still got 20 days left, essentially, 19. And we're going to get as close to that 100k mark as possible. It's an absolute blessing. Absolute blessing. All right, anyway, thank you for watching. This has been the 6th deal of challenge, which it should be more, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm happy with the results thus far, and I know that in the future we can get way more. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share it if you want, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 82. Peace out.